Full speed?
No.
Mashallah, man, we can keep a conversation. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Sure.
Turned off.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's on, it's on.
I turned it off.
Okay, so as you guys saw, the engine did stall yesterday while we were out on the river. What happened was we were cruising out of the marina at very low speeds. We were driving, everything was fine. When we made it out of the marina, I slowly started to gain speed. So I was slowly increasing the speed, and after about 3-4 minutes of increasing speed, I would say we were probably at like maybe 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. The engine suddenly stalled, but it didn't cut off right away. It started decreasing speed and then it completely shut off. And as soon as that happened, well, after I realized that's usually how my other boat dies when we run out of gas. Usually when we run out of gas, it kind of stalls very gradually. But yeah, so we ended up just spending the day out, ended up getting towed back to the marina, and now we're diagnosing. So one thing that came to mind was maybe the tank that's underneath the deck wasn't ventilated. So today I unscrewed the gas cap with a fully charged battery. I tried to turn on the motor. It wants to go, the starter is working, but it just won't turn over completely. I disconnected the hose from the fuel pumps and tried to crank it, and this was spitting out fuel, which tells me that the fuel pumps are working. Both of these guys, both of them were spitting out fuel every time I tried to turn the engine over. So I'm guessing that these guys are running okay, and they're delivering gas to my, not sure if this goes straight into the carburetors, but I think it does. Yeah, it seems like these guys, because we've got 4 of them, they pump straight into my carbs, which are over here. The next thing I'm going to do is try to spray some starter fluid and see if this turns on, if it turns on or not, and then after that move over to see if I've got any spark in my spark plugs. So this is what we're going through right now. These are the steps that I'm taking, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so after some time of diagnosing, I ended up giving up because all the signs were leading to the carburetors. So I took it to the mechanic, and it only took a day for the mechanic to call me back and tell me nothing is wrong with the motor, and my issue was water inside of the gas tank. So I have to get rid of the water that's inside of the gas tank in order for the motor to work properly again. He already flushed out everything inside of the motor and disconnected the fuel line. So now I'm gonna try to take out all the water from inside of the gas tank. Okay, in order to take out the water from the fuel tank, I saw someone on YouTube do this, so I'm gonna attempt this myself. This is the fuel line that's coming from my gas tank. I connected it to a water fuel separator. What this is meant to do is separate the water from the fuel. The water should drop to the bottom over here, and then there's a valve where you can empty it. And in order to pump the fuel out of the gas tank, I got a fuel pump which is connected to the fuel water separator, and then I have another hose coming out of the fuel pump, which I'll pump the gas back into the tank through the gas cap. And what I'm planning on doing is jacking the boat up so that it's on an incline angle. This way all the gas will rush to the bottom of the tank, and all the water that's sitting at the bottom of the tank should come to the back of the tank where the fuel pickup line is, and this hopefully should let me pump out any water that's sitting at the bottom, and then filter it into the water separator, and then keep the clean gas going back into the tank. So the fuel line coming in from the gas tank, going into the separator, into the pump, and the pump back into the gas tank.
up on the top of the water tail in the tank.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Wait, let's prime it.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, just make sure.
Look at it. You can see it more here. Yeah.
This is all the clean fuel after the filter. All the bad fuel. You can see a little bit of particles, a little bit of gunk, and some water at the bottom. Okay, so we stopped the pump and you can see the water over here separated from the gas. What we're about to do is try to empty out this water now from this bottom valve over here, and then we're going to turn on the pump again to see if we can pick up any more water. Okay, we just emptied out the water, but you can see drops of water coming down from the filter. We're about to turn the pump back on and see if we can get some more water in here.
It's cleaner now, the gas.
Okay, so I ran it for an hour total. As you can see, we don't get any separation of water and fuel anymore. It's looking pretty clean. I might run it for another hour and a little bit just to make sure all of it has been polished and we've taken out all of the water from the tank. And then I'll permanently install this between the gas tank and our motor just to make sure that our motor is getting protected. Just to make sure that our motor is being protected from any water or any gunks or little particles. But yeah, I think we're on the right track here. We're back for round 2. This time we got some tools with us just in case things don't work out. Okay, fast forward in time a little bit, we've got a few updates. We finally found the problem. The reason the engine kept turning off is because this old fitting over here was completely broken. So we had gone through the entire process of troubleshooting. We went through the fuel filter, we went through the gas, the fuel pumps, we went through a little bit of the carburetors, and the issue ended up being this fitting over here that connects the hose to the motor, the fuel line to the motor. And what was happening is the engine was basically starving from fuel. So every time I would pump it and fill up the outboard with gas, it would run up until it ran out of gas, and then when I came to try to prime it again, it would feel hard, but this was misleading because there was actually no fuel and the pressure was just stuck over here in this fuel fitting. So we ended up just bypassing this fuel fitting and getting a hose barb connector, 3/8 on both sides, and just connecting both. And this has got a check valve in it, which will keep the fuel up to this point over here. And now we're live and on the water. Okay, now that we're done with the interior of the boat and fixing the motor, we're about to install some accessories. I got a Minn Kota trolling motor and a Helix 5 Humminbird fish finder and GPS, and a deep cycle battery for the trolling motor. And I also got a brand new pedal, foot pedal. Okay, so things that I'm keeping in mind is making sure the head of this trolling motor stays within the boat, just in case if you have this up and you're pulling up to a dock, you're not hitting this on anything, it's in line with the boat. Another thing is making sure we clear the roller so that when you're launching, the propeller doesn't hit the roller. But I do have a spare tire over here. It is lower than the roller, so I think we should be able to clear it. Okay, so I marked where the base plate is gonna go using masking tape. Now all I gotta do is just drill 4 holes and then bolt this in, and the trolling motor should be able to mount onto this. Okay, so I've wired up the trolling motor. So what I did is I went and got these connectors and I installed it over here. So the main power coming in from the trolling motor, I connected it to this male connector and it goes into the female connector. And then I've got this wire over here running underneath the flooring and going to my battery over here. So this is how I have power, and then all I need to do is turn it on, connect the foot pedal, and I should be good to go. And this is how it looks. Let's go, baby.
شفت يا انجينير خلص. For today, all beef. Lunch.
drive above them. Come gonna damage it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
He drinks before this about.
Check on the last one.
Oh yeah.